Welcome to the lesson on differentiated instruction. So in your classrooms, you are going to be exposed to students from all different levels, whether it is their learning style, the experiences they're bringing to the classroom, the knowledge base they have about the subject matter, their abilities and ability differences. You're going to have to find a way to help all these diverse learners achieve, okay? And you'll be doing this through the process of what we call differentiated instruction. And if you look at this cartoon, you can see that the instructor, the teacher, is saying, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. Now, if you're looking at the individuals that are going to be taking this assessment, clearly the fish in the bowl, the seal, the penguin may have a more difficult time, and the elephant may have a more difficult time than maybe the monkey. The monkey will excel at climbing the tree. So you want to think about what is considered fair in terms of providing materials and opportunities for success with your students. And how can you do that so that you still set high expectations and give every student the opportunity to learn? And this is what differentiation is all about. Okay, let's look at specific definitions. Differentiated instruction is defined as an approach to teaching and learning for students with different abilities in the same classroom. So differentiation is a theory that is based on the fact that teachers should adapt their approaches to fit the diversity of students in the classroom. And teachers who differentiate their instruction recognize that students differ in many ways, from their knowledge experiences, from their readiness, their language, their culture, their learning preferences, what they're interested in. And when a teacher can realize that students are coming with all these diverse backgrounds, they need to change the way they teach them in order to reach all the students, in order to create a fair playing field. And so differentiation of instruction is very critical to helping students succeed, okay, to getting students to the same place but through different paths. So how do we differentiate? This is a general chart that shows some of the areas that you can differentiate in the classroom, okay? So we differentiate by content, okay, what the teacher plans to teach, all right? The process, how they teach. Do we use group work? Do we use collaboration, right? Do students work independently? Do they work in pairs? Is there a combination? Do they have stations? Are they required to do a writing assignment? Are they taking an assessment? What is the process with which you are using to convey and deliver your lesson, right? Assessment is another way that you can differentiate. That's the finished product. How are students showing and demonstrating what they've learned? Are you giving them choice in that? Are you providing those options? Or does everybody take, the same type of test? So examples of differentiating through assessment may be allowing students to present what they know through a PowerPoint, or give a speech, or engage in a debate, along with maybe some more formative assessments like a test, right? Curriculum, which is something provided by the state, and there are specific standards, can also be differentiated, and that relates to how much of the curriculum are you presenting, right? And we know that students are coming from all different levels, have different interests, have different learning profiles, have different prior knowledge, and so all that must be taken into consideration when you are differentiating. This is another chart. Actually, it's a nice mind map that I think is useful when looking at how we differentiate. So here's differentiation. This is the teacher's response to the learner's needs. And these are the principles that guide how we differentiate. Tasks, curriculum, teaching, flexible grouping, assessment that's done throughout the lesson, and building community. And we can differentiate the content, what we teach, how we teach it, how the information is assessed, affect, and learning environment. So affect is dealing with feelings and emotions. So how students are feeling in the classroom, how are they responding? What is their comfort level? And these two kind of tie in together, affect and learning environment. Um, things like flexible seating may be a way to differentiate. It provides a different learning environment. Um, having class in different environments that, like maybe having class outdoors or at a different location, right? These are things that can be differentiated to help students learn. These are things that we take into consideration when we're differentiating, all right? And some of the strategies that can be used are graphic organizers, scaffolding the reading, so kind of giving little bits and pieces and then letting students do what they need to on their own. Cubing, think tic-tac-toe, these are all instructional strategies that you can read more about. Tiering your content and information, so providing it at different levels, focusing on what a child is interested in. That might be a way to differentiate. So if you know you've got kids that are interested in sports, others that are interested maybe in science, so you would incorporate or you would relate what you're teaching to those topics of interest. So you can draw those kids in. Okay, those are some things to think about. Okay, and so I wanted to look at this particular article here by Edutopia. Teaching a class with big ability differences. So this is an article in Edutopia by Todd Finley, and it shares some ways that you can differentiate. Okay. Here they're defining what it is, as I mentioned earlier in the PowerPoint, a method of instruction designed to meet the needs of all students. And they talk about how you can change the content, process, product, learning environment, affect. Okay. And here are some tips and things that you can differentiate. So the suggestion is to start slowly. Choose a few assignments and differentiate those. Okay. Introduce compacting for high achievers. So compacting curriculum is condensing it and putting it together so that students can work on project-based learning, and they can cover a lot of curriculum in a short amount of time. All right. Providing choice. This is one of the things that we talked about when we're looking at assessments. And they've given some of these different activities that you're welcome to research further and find out what these all are. But you can use these to differentiate the classroom. Putting assessments into every class. So assessing through things like graphic organizers, giving students time to reflect, having short conferences with students, rubrics that students design. These are all ways to help assess throughout the course, and that gives you an idea of where the students are, what you need to target in terms of helping them to meet their goals. Here we've got providing scaffolding. Scaffolding is basically support. How do you support those students? And these are some ideas on how to do so. Okay, so keep this in mind that differentiated instruction is extremely key to helping your diverse learners meet the standards and expectations of the course. It gives them opportunities, a variety of opportunities to learn and to demonstrate what they've learned. And I hope at this point in time you can take a few minutes and try to retrieve what you know about differentiated instruction, try to write it down, summarize everything you remember at this point in time, and share it with somebody. And hopefully those retrievals will help you to learn this concept. And as you're observing in the classrooms, try to identify where you see differentiation occurring.